Hello everybody, my name is Ivica. Thank you so much for joining me on the latest video I'm making here, which is a Fortnite creative tutorial that will show you how you can create random loadouts for your player. Now this process involves just a couple of devices, but it's pretty weird and ultimately it doesn't completely work as I wanted it to, but still it will provide the results that you're looking for, and I'm going to explain that last element right at the end of the video. So what do we need? Well, actually we need two devices. The first one is the item granter, which we're going to set here. And the second one is the regular trigger device. Here it is. That is actually essential to get what we're looking for. Now, first of all, we're going to set the item granter here, and we're going to add a bunch of items to it. So we're going to drop a few weapons. Let's go for this. Let's see if it accepted it. Okay, I'm going to try and drop clearly different stuff so that it's visible. And let's go for a hunting rifle. Let's go for this twin-fire auto shotgun. They're all in the granter. They should cycle. Okay, now let's drop some items. Let's drop a smoke grenade. Let's drop, for example, this decoy. And yeah, that's basically it. All of these are present in the item granter. Now we need to set some elements of the item granter as well. So once we get into it, we're going to enable at the start game, receiving player. We're going to set all, even though it's easier to be the trigger player through the player spawner, but let's not keep it complicated. On grant action, we're going to remain as is. Grant current item, all item, just the current item. Grant condition, always. Grant on cycle, this is important, yes. Equip grant item, no. Item count, now I'm going to come back to this, but we're going to set it to 1. Remove item on grant, no. Cycle behavior, wrap. So the current items will loop around if you move past. This is not that important because the visual device is not going to be present, but let's still it on cycle, keep the cycle on. Grant while offline, we're going to drop items at player location, always. And grant on player game start, off. Why? Because we're going to grant through a trigger. We're going to set a trigger here, make it visible in game, off, even though we don't have to change this, but let's change it anyway. We have trigger when receiving from, select device, player spawner, select event, on player spawned. So when the player spawns, the trigger will activate. And what will it do? It's going to add, after being triggered, an event to item granter, and this is crucial, cycle to random item. So right now, when we get into the level, the trigger is going to hear it, perceive it, send it to the item granter, which will grant a random items. This is the problematic part I'm going to show you in a moment, but let's see this in action. We're starting the game. We're entering the match. And here we are. We have our Hyper SMG gun ready to pick up. Now let's try it again. And we're entering the match for the third time. Let's see what happens now. We get the other grenade. So as you can see, we're getting random grenades just as we should, or not just grenades, we're getting random loadouts, which you can then do again and again and again with additional spawner items, item spawner device, or keep just as is, add more devices, add more items to this device. What was the problem that I mentioned? Previously, when I entered the item granter, it was always spawning 2 items, even though it had set the item count to 1. In this case, it's working okay, but there clearly is some kind of a bug. So if you get that problem, just make a new item granter and repeat the process, because the bug that I had previously lasted for the whole day. It didn't change even though I changed the settings, played around. So you need to delete it, make a new one, and then do everything from scratch so you avoid that issue. So it can happen. Players can get multiple items even though you're setting them to just one. So take care of that by making a new item granter. But basically that's it. So like I said, you create the item granter, add items to it, connect it, get it to wrapped, connect it to the trigger, send it to random item, and once you get that, you will get the spawn of a random item. Of course, you can add those items directly to your player inventory. You can drop them as I'm doing next to the player. There's a bunch of options, but this is the kind of main point. You add several things to an item granter and then it randomizes them through the trigger basically. And of course, like I said, there could be that bug which is solved by making it again and doing it all over with a new item granter. There it is, a short, hopefully simple tutorial. I found that there are other tutorials on custom loadouts or random loadouts that are more complex, have more elements to it. I wanted to make this as simple as possible. Hopefully it made sense, hopefully you found it useful. If you did, please consider supporting me through a range of means, including checking out my Patreon page on the link below, checking out my channel membership, which is right below the video, checking out my books on Amazon, including my best-selling book, which is a short title that can help you clear your issues with procrastination and stop wasting time so you can spend it more in building your levels in Fortnite Creative. And of course, the cheapest, easiest, fastest way to support me is to leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe to my channel for my new videos. That's all for me. Thanks a lot for watching. My name is Ivica. Have loads of fun in your Fortnite Creative adventures, and I'll see you on my next video. Until then, bye bye.